And the front three, Isese Hegi, Nick Popovic, Stephen Dominici, seems to be full of goals.
Yeah, it's a very good squad. I mean, a lot of it, even though Olympic have lost a couple of players from last year in Bobolis and Magic, and Kofi Danning, obviously, it's still a very, very stable squad. There's a large majority of players that played in that semi-final last year and won the league title. Good to see young Piccolo out there again after a good NYL season. Inclusions of Lindstedt and Asosa Hegi will be interesting to see, and obviously Josh Calabria is back from Melbourne, looking like he's been hitting the weights, and big size, and a very good leader, and welcome back to the club.
Young bench again for Olympic 2. Seb Woods, Michael Southam, Jordan Keisha, Dylan Itulu and Nicholas Middleton on the bench. You know one of them quite well.
Yeah, I feed one of them. Yeah, so again, a very young bench, but again, it's good. A lot of Olympic juniors in that. Even with Dylan Itulu there, who's come through the ranks, went to Belconnen for a little bit, and I think he had a bit of a taste at Gungahlin last year, but back to Olympic, and I'm sure, I know Robbie's got a pretty high opinion of him, and all those kids that we gave a bit of a start to last year are now a year older and ready to go. Alex
McConaughey, the man in the middle, Liam O'Rourke and Adam Powers, his assistants. First of 2 games live on Bar TV Sports today. Later on this evening from the Riverside at 5:30, Monero Panthers versus Tigers FC. Tomorrow I'll be at the AIS for Canberra United. Monero Panthers versus Canberra Croatia, I should say. Tomorrow I'll be at the AIS for Gungahlin versus Woden Western, and down at Nijong Tigers versus Tuggeranong United FC. As we see the Canberra Olympic huddle. First time they've been able to do that for a while. Finished first last year, the league champions. Something to live up to.
Yeah, 3 league championships in the last 4 years, these boys. So they hopefully they start their own legacy now under Robbie, and take it to the next level.
Nick Popovic and Stephen Dominici over the ball in the middle. Alex McConaughey ready and waiting to get us underway after 307 days, 19 hours and 27 minutes or so since the finish of the grand final last year. Football is back underway in Canberra, and aren't we all happy to see it? First touch in Olympic blue for Lindstedt. His partnership with Ulrich looks pretty solid on paper.
Yeah, and you've got a couple of ex-Belconnen boys here in Daniel Sparrow and Hegi for Olympic, and you've got a couple of ex-Olympic boys, I think, in the Belconnen side with Kofi, and unfortunately Maykor's out today, young Adrian Maykor, but obviously a lot of these boys know each other very, very well.
Sparrow's early ball forwards, won by Maybury. It's come off Kelly to Sparrow again. Just that timing, Frank, 307 days since the last game. That's almost a year, isn't it? It's incredible to think.
It is incredible.
It's Danning's ball to Flores. Couldn't quite take it in his stride. But is there pressure, do you think, on Robbie Kadnashich having, Olympic, is there a sense perhaps also of unfinished business? Because you were there last year, you would feel that they perhaps should have won that preliminary final against Gungahlin and gone on to win the grand final and claim the double.
Yeah, of course, and I think every club that missed out on that, whether it be us or Deakin or Croatia, and even Coombe to an extent, will feel like they want to vindicate what they missed out on last year, and obviously Marcel at Gungahlin would want to be replicating that.
Wells ball forwards, good win that from Lindstedt. Space for Kelly. Look for Popovic to ping the 1-2, might get it back.
And 2 new captains too as well, Russ. You've got Popper there for Olympic, and you've got Maybury there for Belconnen.
Yeah, Zach Maybury's, well, it's an easy decision. Not much social distancing there.
That reminded me of training last year. I think Lassa and Kofi, yep.
Yeah, Zach Maybury, his 176th NPL appearance today. Part of a very experienced back four. The first chance for us to see Dustin Wells over a set piece, something that we've become used to. Talking of experience, 254 games in the competition.
There was your experience.
Yeah, he tried to steal about 15 yards. I think he knew in his heart he wasn't going to get away with that one. What can Wells do here? Numbers up from the back. Real height advantage for Olympic. Mickle with the ambitious efforts.
Here's a big back line. I mean, you've got at least 3 good players there in the air with Lindstedt, Lossa and Calabria. Obviously Force is no slouch either, but it's 3 very tall players back there in the centre of defence for Olympic.
Yeah, definitely got the height advantage off the set pieces. Piccolo closed down quickly by Tarazi on that occasion. Piccolo forward again. Big day for a lot of these players making their debut in different colours. Always want to set a marker down when you're new to a club.
Yeah, and like I said, people like Darren Bailey, very good pickups for Belconnen.
Dominici snapping into the tackle there was Luca McCaw. Here's Sparrow. Back to hat-trick in a Belconnen game last year. Raking ball from Ulrich. Easy win for Bailey at the back though. His first touch of note. Sparrow. Now there's a bit of space here for Kelly. Can he find the run of Popovic? Just too far ahead, and Jordan Thurtell gets his first real touch.
And celebrating his birthday today, Jay Kelly.
Happy birthday to Jay Kelly. Chases on here for Leo Mickle. Nick Faust doing well. Goal kick is the outcome. Pre-season seems such a long time ago, it seems almost pointless talking about what's been happening back in March, Frank, but both these sides tried to put themselves a decent run, and Belconnen got a few wins under their belt against Hamwood, O'Connor and Tuggeranong, and the Olympic had a good run out against ANU before the break, but it all seems so long ago now that what they've gained from that is probably well negated.
Yeah, and even just some personnel changes since then as well. I mean, Canberra Olympic had Andre Jancheski pretty much all the way up through to all the last couple of weeks until work sort of dried up for him, and he ended up going back home to Noosa. And that was, Olympics Player of the Year last year and Team of the Year player, and so he's another big loss to the club. But that pre-season seems an eternity ago, and whether or not you read anything into it, I'm not sure if you can.
I don't think you can read anything into anything, really, can you? It's don't know how the players are going to come back, how they've been feeling over the break, psychologically as well as physically. It's Piccolo. Battle from Tarazi to win that. It's come through to Flores, who's onside. Sparrow takes over. Full of energy, but it's a good challenge from Mickle. McCaw.
Sparrow's down.
Yeah, maybe fell awkwardly there, Daniel Sparrow. This isn't the start that Robbie Catnach would want. I think Sparrow is an integral part of his game plan.
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest, he's been plagued with injuries, even last year when I was in charge of the club. He's just such a pivotal player for the club, and when he's on, we are... I shouldn't say we, that's a coffee, isn't it?
Certainly is. I'll make a note of those.
Olympic is very, is buzzing when Sparrow's doing his job in the middle of the park. So anytime he's off the park or out of action or injured, that hurts Olympic a little bit.
Thankfully, Daniel Sparrow looks to be up and on his feet.
It was brave from the youngster to actually go in for that tackle and actually come out the other side too. I think it's if the young guy is looking for a bit of confidence, he should be sort of ready to go now. If
you're listening in and you're wondering why Frank owes me a coffee now, he did say that he would say we more than once, and he suggested he wouldn't. Took him, what's that, about 7 minutes?
I put a caveat around it and said, if I mention Olympic from last year, I reckon I'll get away with that.
In the 7th minute. Here's Danning. Touch around the corner towards Flores, but Kelly was too quick. Now Popovic. What have Olympic got on the break? Dominici, their top scorer last season. Popovic again. It's a combination that worked really well in 2019. And on his day, there's not many better than Popovic and Dominic, the front two.
Look, and to be perfectly honest, if you're going to look at the winners of this game, if those two boys are on, they start combining consistently, then I think that they're going to be hard to stop.
Calabria with a left-footed ball into the area. It's a dangerous one. And Isaac Clements, I think, was happy to see that go through.
That's a good ball there from Thurtell.
He's found Mickle. It's a good battle this with Faust. A little shirt pull though by the Belconnen winger. Alex McConaughey spotted that. Could have gone either way, really.
Nick Forst almost gave himself away there. He's turned around and sort of gone, what? He's got himself a free kick.
Yeah, I think he thought the whistle had gone against him.
Yep. I think Paul Maycor thought the whistle should have gone against him. Not that Paul's biased or anything.
Ulrich's ball to Calabria. Dominici. Come deep to collect. It's all a bit cramped in the middle at the moment, isn't it? Here's Flores. Sparrow there ahead of Wells. Dominici again. Piccolo. And characteristic error from Josh Calabria.
Yeah. Piccolo and Luca Maycor would have been partners in the NYL for the majority of the season over summer. And now they're head-to-head. Two good young midfielders in the local game.
It's early days here live on Bar TV Sports. No score. Olympic versus Belconnen. Chances at a premium so far. As you'd expect, Flores finds Wells lining one up, and that's an important block from Sparrow. Ihegi has been on the peripheral in the early stages. Had a good year at Tuggeranong last year, didn't he? Scored plenty of goals, and 36 goals in 87 NPL appearances is a reasonable return.
It definitely is, and he was always one of the players that, as a coach, opposition coach, you'd pick out and have a little plan around, because he is dangerous, especially one-on-one.
Here's a player who is dangerous one-on-one as well, Dominici. Sparrow sliding in, typically robust challenge, breaks for Wells. Mickle looking to switch.
It's been a good start from Belconnen. They're holding their own, just got a bit enthusiastic there and got themselves offside. I always like the look of young Luca Flores. I think he's a busy player. I think he's got a future in the game as well.
Kelly found a little pocket of space on this near side. Calabria. Ulrich. Forces Lindstedt wide. Ihegi. Lovely turn. Couldn't quite keep it in though. Two former Tuggeranong United colleagues. Swap to the blue of Olympic. Danning going the other way. Brings a lot of experience to the team, Kofi Danning, and no little skill. Great ball into the penalty area. Opportunity here for Tarazi. Been to it by Calabria. And Ulrich got rid of the clearance. First real moment of note.
Yeah, it's a good ball there from Kofi. Just go back to what we spoke about before, about the height in the Olympic defence. Came to the fore there.
Flores tried to bring it down, but Popovic was right on his heels. Nothing to choose between these two so far, as we expected. Both sides with real ambitions of finishing in the top four. In this new format that we've got this year, where the top four and bottom four split after 7 rounds. And
then it's anybody's guess after that.
Yeah, it's a whole new ball game, isn't it, really? Whole new competition, I guess.
Yeah, and you just can't really afford to lose games if you've got ambitions for that, top 4, top 2, top spot, because you lose a game against a side and you really can't make that up unless they've dropped points against someone that you pick up points against. So really, really important.
Dominici on the loose ball. Sparrow. Here's Piccolo. Faust. Piccolo once more. Bailey read that one. Trouble in the middle from McCord momentarily. Trod on the ball. It's all a bit scrappy at the moment, isn't it, Frankie? Neither side's really settled into any sort of rhythm.
No, and it's hard to sort of see a pattern. I mean, the one thing that we can see is Olympics seem to be playing quite wide through Dominici and Ihegi, whereas Belconnen seem to be trying to channel most of their attacks through Dusty in the middle of the park.
Piccolo looks for Ihegi. Tried to roll his marker and turn. Wants a free kick and is going to get one in a really presentable position.
This is dangerous for Belconnen.
chance for Olympic to line this one up. But Heggie just showing there, he's quite sharp in and around the box, isn't he? And it's difficult to be making that challenge.
I actually thought he rolled him, or could have played Dominici in just on the outside if he could there. But
well, Jake Kelly's interested, but I don't think they're going to get the ball away from Stephen Dominici in this situation.
Even though it's Jay's birthday, there's no chance. I would have thought Stephen and maybe Sparrow might be over this, but it looks like Dominici's got his name on it.
Well, it's Stephen Dominici, who has an incredible strike rate in the Premier League. He will be favourite. Is Dominici up and over the wall, but just too high. His strike rate, Frank, 133 NPL games, 127 goals.
Outstanding. And such a good lad. Obviously had Stephen with me at Olympic for the last few years, and just what he brings to the boys at training and on the park. I'm sure he's got his detractors here and there, but I mean, if I was in charge, he'd be one of the first ones you pick every week.
He's got that real competitive streak as well that you need to be a great player as well. You know where I'm going with that.
As I said, he's got his detractors.
Danning chasing this. Larkin's come to make it his. Sends it all out towards the socially distant aware fans on the far side. Saw an absolute cracking goal in the under-23s here from the kickoff.
Adam Forner, from a good 55 metres away.
Ball back, lovely chip.
Yeah, I think we saw an amazing goal in that game, and one of the most amazing tackles from a Belconnen player when an Olympic player was clean through. And I don't know who the lad was, but it's one of the best tackles I've seen in that level of competition.
Well, he walked around the goalkeeper about where Rory Larkin's got the ball now, and had an open goal, didn't he? And it looked like he was just going to roll it into the net, but somehow from behind, stretching a leg across the striker to clear the ball out of danger as well was phenomenal.
But that was a very good Belconnen, well-coached side that beat Olympic 5-1 in the 23s this morning, earlier today.
Missed a penalty as well.
Yes, so definitely put down a marker, Belconnen in the 23s.
As they did in the 18s you watched beforehand, with a thumping win over Radford College.
Oh, that was Olympic.
Olympic, yes.
Yeah, that was plenty to not many.
Apparently there was a couple of plenty to not many in the women's Belconnen Monero games today as well. Maybe a bit of ring rustiness from some players. There's Danning looking to lift that through. Look for Tarazi, but Flores was completely unmarked.
Gee, he did the hard work there, Kofi, and he'd probably be disappointed with himself there not to get that final pass in. So, could have been exposed there, Olympic.
It's Dominici. Operating from deep, like he likes to do.
Yeah, always good to put Stephen's name on a whiteboard. Doesn't really matter where you put it.
Looks like a nice balanced Olympic back four today. The two big lads in the middle and Calabria offering the left-hand side and Faust the other side. And the same could be said for Belconnen United as well. Darren Bailey adds that natural left-sided balance as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Not many people would know this, but even when Josh was here in 2016, he came back from his US scholarship and rejoined the squad, and that was the squad that won the treble. He only played probably 60 or 70% of the games, but he ended up being third in our player of the year behind Catanach and Colbertaldo. So he adds a lot to this squad. I'm really happy to see him back. Consistent
and talented as well. I mean, as Wells gets on his bike maybe 10 years ago. Quality player, Dustin Wells.
They found a couple of holes there. They just haven't got that last pass there, Belconnen.
Popovich looking to chase. Should give a shout out to the Baileys, probably watching in Scotland, tuning in the early hours to watch a bit of NPL football and watch Darren play his part on the left-hand side of that Belconnen defence on debut for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, and what a great addition he's been to the NPL. You know, from Riverina to Cooma, now to Belconnen. He just adds a lot. Good quality lad, and a great player. Very educated left foot, and just a good all-round guy, really.
He's going further north, isn't he? End up in the Northern Territory eventually. It's Faust looking to dance his way through. Heggie back to Faust again. The challenge from Bourgeot there, had to time it well. Concedes a corner.
Are you starting Bailey to Gungahlin rumours? That's further north, isn't it?
Well, Marcel's multi-talented, star-studded squad. We'll watch them tomorrow afternoon at the AIS. Installed as the favourites this year. There'll be plenty of sides.
First corner of the season, is it? Or not?
It is the first corner of the season. The Sparrow swings in there and it's a chance. And nobody in a blue shirt, or a dark blue shirt I should say, could get on the end of it. Dominici finds Piccolo, chance to reload towards the far post. Calabria's peeled away here, opportunity, but couldn't get enough on it.
What a ball from Piccolo there. Singled out Josh Calabria. Unfortunate it's landed on his right foot, but yeah, some ball from young Pix.
It's a good ball from Thurtell as well to pick up Flores, who brought it down nicely, but unfortunately for the Blue Devils, Wells' distribution was a little bit wayward.
And I think that's one of the things that people do generally talk about with Thurtell. Apart from his shot stopping, his distribution is second to none in this competition, and it would stand up against most NPL keepers across the country.
Talking of coffees, thanks to Nick Paps for dropping us off a coffee before kick-off.
Mate, I did 6 years here. Surely free coffee's not too much to ask.
Should point out, for the middle of winter in Canberra, it's a very pleasant afternoon, isn't it? It's not too cold, there's no wind, sun's out. Perfect day for the return of football in the ACT. Not just Premier League today, of course. There's community football taking place throughout Canberra. Hopefully everyone's doing the right thing and staying COVID safe. And hopefully if we can do that, we'll be here for a number of weeks to the end of the season.
Exactly, Ross.
Everyone's doing their bit. Here's Sparrow. Bailey sweeps that forward.
Just starting to open up a bit now, the game, isn't it?
Well, it's quite interesting to see. It's one of those games where you say it needs a goal, doesn't it? It does need a goal, I think. It's what you'd expect, though, from teams that haven't played for such a long time. They're very keen to get off to a winning start, as Frank mentioned. That's a good ball from Dominici, looking for Popovic in behind. Flag's gone up there.
Now, even though that was offside, that's the sort of run that you want to see a Heggie make into the box as soon as Popper makes that run into that channel. It was actually Josh Calabria making a run inside.
Are you surprised to see Dominici so wide kick-off here, just hugging this touchline?
Because that's pretty much where we played him towards the back end of last year as well. There's a bit of a view where we'd like to see Stephen isolate one-on-one with the defender. So, look, I think that was something that we looked at last year, and Robbie's brought that in again this year. But there's nothing stopping Stephen from probably floating back inside and even swapping with Popper, or even swapping wings, or even swapping with Jay Kelly and dropping into a 10. That's the beauty of having a good quality player.
Wells hits one. Decent save. Larkin, sorry, Frank.
No, you're right.
Snapshot from Wells. I'll let you off the two wheeze there because you did say last year. That's fine, and that seems fair enough. Otherwise, I can't drink that much coffee anyway. First snapshot of the season from Wells, and as we've come to expect from him, was a sharp save for Larkin. Had to be on his toes. One you'd expect him to make, though.
Absolutely, but at the same time, you just see the quality of Dustin Wells again. Like he just makes Belconnen tick, doesn't he?
Well, Bailey over this set piece. Chance for him to loft it into the penalty area. Looks for Flores. Calabria knocks it away. There's Wells with something special. He was attempting to, and it's landed way. Shake, a little rueful shake of their head from Wells. If that comes off, it's spectacular, isn't it?
Yeah, but you back him most of the time. He just let me down because we just gave him a huge rap.
It generally happens. Yeah, it won't be the first or last time.
I think Daniel Sparrow's just reminding him of where that ball landed, if it has landed yet.
It's good to see that it's been played in a really good spirit so far, isn't it? Between two sets of players that respect each other.
Yeah, and that's perfect. That's what you want to see.
Here's Piccolo. Linstead. Faust's touch. Can't quite find a Heggie. Bit of rustiness from both teams in the early stages. Here's Tarazi. Can only find a Heggie with his layoff now. Olympic look to spring into action on the break with Popovic. Kelly. Combination of McCaw and Flores bustle the ball off him, and here come Belconnen, Mickle and Danning again. They turn it over. And Linstead gives it to Dominici, who's got some green grass in which to run. Stephen Dominici at the Belconnen defence, and again, not quite on the same wavelength, everybody, at the moment. It's definitely opening up, though, and that's a decent ball forwards. Just too heavy from Liam Mickle. According to our stats, this is his first NPL game, and he settled in quite nicely.
He's done well. He's done really well.
Bourgeot with a header. Flores beats Dominici to the ball. Mabry back to Flores. Lindstedt away. And Wells with a foul. Looking ahead to next week, Frank, both these teams have difficult matches. Tuggeranong go to Canberra, Olympic go to Tuggeranong on Sunday, which is always a difficult one at Canberra. Belconnen host Woden Western at Hawker, their new home ground, on Saturday afternoon. There's a ball in and Heggie is offside.
Yeah, so look, I think the writing's on the wall with these two teams. I would have looked forward to the next couple of weeks and thought, okay, with no disrespect, I know we said it's difficult games, but they probably fancy their chances against both those sides. So this is a massive game in the make-up of the top four. I'm sure, you know, I saw Yuli walk in from Woden earlier today. He'll be checking these guys out.
Wells from distance. Hasn't quite got the radar attuned yet. Just to give you a heads up for next week, we'll be live at the Riverside 5:30 on Saturday night, Monero Panthers versus Tigers FC, and Sunday afternoon our first trip of the season to Deakin Stadium for the small matter of Canberra Croatia versus Gungahlin United.
Yeah, that's pivotal in who makes the top four and who probably plays out the top 2 or 3 positions in the competition.
Every game, as you said, though, Frank, is important, and I guess with this split in top 4 and bottom 4, each game at both ends of the table becomes something more important than it might have been. Yeah,
well, I suppose from my point of view, is if you were coaching, you'd be looking at how can you actually blood some of the younger players in the squad. But it's going to be difficult for young guys to get their chance unless they're really putting their shift in at training, because there's just no room for error. You can't slip up. You can't afford to drop points. So, look, hopefully the young guys that have earned their spots either on the benches or in starting lineups over the weekend in these NPL sides make the most of their opportunities.
There's always 1 or 2 names that come new to us every season. Instead, looking to get this under control. Got to be careful here. And Danning is interested, and Kofi Danning might be in here. He's over Larkin. Is it going to go in? It's trickling towards the goal, but Calabria is there. There's a big shout for a penalty, and it's given. Alex McConaughey waited to see whether the ball was going in, and it was a challenge by Larkin on Danning that's been penalised, and Belconnen have a spot kick.
Yeah, Kofi Danning. And that's the one thing that I think he brings to the club at Belconnen that they probably lacked a little bit last year, is just that strength and pace and guile up front. And he's got between 2 players. Lindstedt let the ball bounce, probably not the smartest thing to do, and that's something you go back to juniors, and now you've got Dustin Wells lining up for 1-0 Belconnen in the first goal of the season. He's still got to beat Big Rory though. He'll be ready to go.
Well, Dustin Wells has made a career out of set-piece goals. Usually deadly from another 15 yards out from this. So from the spot, Dustin Wells against Rory Larkin. Wells, who has 139 Premier League goals to his name. Larkin dancing around. It's Dustin Wells, and he's blazed it well over the crossbar. That's uncharacteristic, and a let-off for Canberra Olympic. And maybe just having a few months off, Wells just hasn't got his radar.
Yep, his last 3 shots have all gone well over the top, and that's a big let-off for Olympic.
Well, something that you wouldn't have seen, or you wouldn't have thought we would have seen, is that generally from that kind of range, he's deadly.
Yeah, I'm sure Paul Makor would be not livid, because I mean he puts a lot of trust in Dusty, but all his plans were probably revolving around scoring first, keeping Olympic quiet. He's executed that, and there was a chance to go 1-0 up. Perfect opportunity.
Mabry nips in ahead, and off he goes into the penalty area. Support here from McCaw, and he couldn't sweep his foot around it, and it's out for a goal kick. Looking back to the chance, though, Frank, it was quite simple, wasn't it? A ball over the top, Kofi Danning frustrating Daniel Lindstedt and getting in behind him, and that kind of gave Rory Larkin a decision to make. And I guess Danning would be a little bit disappointed he didn't actually score when he got it over the goalkeeper.
True. Yeah, I think. And it'd be interesting if he kept his feet. So if Rory hadn't brought him down, whether or not he would have just got that follow through and that follow up and tap him.
Good decision, though, I'd like to say, from the referee while we're on the point. They let it go just long enough to see whether something was going to come of it.
Absolutely.
Nothing worse than the whistle going as the ball rolls into the net. But a let-off, as we said, for Olympic.
And there weren't too many complaints either from Olympic.
Roy Larkin picked up a yellow card amongst all of that as well. Well, I'll say we waited 307 days and 19 hours for a goal, and we're still waiting half an hour in.
Have you got like a massive clock with like 300 and something days on you?
It's just ticking down. It's in my lounge. Here's Ahegi, got in behind. Opportunity here. Dominici's on the far post, still going. Isosa Ahegi. Dominici arriving. Couldn't get it under control. Half a chance for Canberra Olympic.
That ball from Isosa to Dominici should have been played so much earlier. Stephen was just waiting at the far post, and by the time it got played, there was players involved, and yeah. But definitely games opening up.
Coming up to the half-hour mark live on Bar TV Sports. Canberra Olympic 0, Belconnen United 0 in the National Premier League. Project Restart in the UK. What are we going to call it here, Frank? Project Let's Hopefully We Get Through the Season.
Project Fingers Crossed.
Popovic tries to bring it under control. Maybury's header. McCourt does so. Steps away from one, but only into challenger Sparrow. Here's Kelly. And it's Belco on the break. Kofi Danning after this. It looks like he's running particularly freely there, Kofi Danning.
No, it didn't, did it? I know last year we had a few hamstring injuries with him.
We'll come back to that in a minute, because here's Kelly. And Popovic was in there. The ball from Kelly wasn't good enough.
And Kelly's down.
And there's a challenge from Sparrow on young Luca Flores. And Kelly twisted something when he went down there, I think, did he? Was it his knee or his ankle?
I don't know, but he doesn't look in good shape there at all. Young Seb Woods is warming up on the bench there for Olympic.
A bit of a breakthrough year last year, Seb Woods.
Yeah, good kid. 16 years old, full of confidence last year, and got more than a taste for it, and got his name on the score sheet a few times, and really integrated well for such a young kid in an established squad.
Well, he's the obvious change. Would he slot into that role where Kelly is, or do you think he'll come wide and Dominici will go in the middle?
No, I'd say Seb would go straight into that 10 role if Kells is out.
He's getting a bit of treatment. Jay Kelly, if you just tuned in, you've missed a penalty miss. Dustin Wells blazing one over the crossbar after Kofi Danning was brought down by Rory Larkin. Other than that, it's been fairly even contest, to be fair. There's neither side's had a real opening of note. Wells forced a save from Larkin, but that was about it. Thurtell's not had an awful lot to do, has he?
Not at all.
Robbie Cadnat coming on to check on the health of Jay Kelly, and it doesn't look good, does it? And it looks like Seb Woods is stripped off and ready to go. And let's hope that that's not too permanent for Jay Kelly.
Yeah, he's had ankle issues over the last year. So, look, and that probably stemmed from that first game where Olympic beat Canberra Croatia 3-0, and Lula Vrikic went through him and saw red. It took him a long time to recover from that, and I'm not sure. That looks like it might be higher up.
Yeah, look, maybe it could have been a knee. Here's Seb Woods anyway, and like Frank mentioned, exciting young prospect. Good opportunity for him to stamp his authority and try and nail down a first team spot.
Yeah.
One man's misfortune and all that.
But he's well entrenched in the squad, you know. The boys have got a lot of confidence in him, and you know, he won't let Robbie down.
This is Lindstedt. Sparrow's been as involved as anyone, as he generally is. Calabria. Ulrich. Just just helps him on his way towards Popovic. Took out Bourgeot in the air.
No, and that's not the sort of service Popper wants up front either. He'd much rather that ball to feet.
The central defensive partnership of Bourgeot and Clements has been largely untroubled as well at the moment.
And they've been good servants for Belconnen for a number of years now. Clements made the move from what was then Canberra Deacon a few years back, and I'm sure Paolo's really building his defence around Isaac or Chopper.
Wells. Here is Clements. Bailey a bit further forward. Mickle. Bailey again. Looked for McCaw, but Lindstedt was there. Good press though from Belconnen to win it back, and then promptly turn it over again. Dominici's interested. Bourgeot got there first. Flores around the corner. Tarazi on the stretch. McCord sends it down towards the corner where Flores is going to win the race. Can he deliver? Looking to take on Lindstedt.
Handful of shirt there too.
Wins the free kick, does well.
Yeah.
A mismatch in size between that pair.
I think Luca got a bit lucky with that one. Just handful of Lindstedt's shirt, but
obviously on the blind side of the officials. It's a free kick in a dangerous position for Belconnen United, and be a chance to perhaps deliver this into the box. Kofi Danning having a chat with Liam Mickle about where he wants to deliver this ball. Five blue shirts in and around the
Dustin Wells in a good
edge
spot.
of the area.
Dustin Wells is in a very good spot if he sees him.
Tarazi on the edge of the box as well. Wells completely unmarked further back. Mickle swings it towards the far post. The header was on from Bourgeot, and it was a decent effort with the ball behind him. Couldn't quite direct it on target though.
He pops up with his fair share of goals, doesn't he, for a centre-back?
He's back 5 NPL goals, yeah. It's not a bad return.
He scored that bomb last year against Cooma when we were commentating.
They're generally good ones.
I've never scored a bad one, Ross. I haven't scored many, but when I score them, they're all good. Even if they dribble over the line.
They all count, Frank. Said it many times before. Lindstedt lofts that one towards Ehegi. There's been a lot of that from the Olympic players going forward, and it's a front line that doesn't really want to challenge in the area as much as it would like it to feet.
Yeah, I'm sure Robbie will probably talk about that at half-time. I'd say he'll be wanting to hit Popovic and Dominici's feet as much as he possibly can. So these lofted balls from the back, probably not what Robbie's asked for.
Faust runs into trouble. Gets out of it, though. And Popovic takes over. Ulrich. Now Sparrow. Running at the Belconnen defence, trying to force his way through. Breaks for Woods, his first involvement. Dominici to Sparrow. Woods, it's all a bit tight. Played themselves into a cul-de-sac there, Olympic. Just under 10 minutes to half-time. Still no score at O'Connor enclosed.
Yeah, I've noticed Nick Popovic is sort of dropping more into that 10 role with Seb Woods going forward. Wouldn't be surprised you start seeing Seb sort of drift out a little bit wider and Dominici go into that number 9 role if Nick Popovic starts dropping into 10. I'll tell you what though, Kofi isn't moving as freely as he should be.
I'm wondering if he still caught something of when Rory Larkin took him out for the penalty, whether he's got a cork or just a knock to the back of the thigh there or something, Frank.
Yeah, he's not moving as well as he should be.
That one's nearly up towards us, but Calabria does really well to keep it in. Popovic. Dominici tries to step away from Wells. And Clements will send it forwards. Looking for the options on the bench for Belconnen if Danning has to go off, and we'll look at that in a moment as they come forward with Flores, looking for Danning, who's got him behind here. Kofi Danning, opportunity, but Faust shuts the door.
Great defending, Nick Forst. Really well timed defending there to get in behind. Good ball from Flores to Kofi. And like I said, I think if Kofi's 100%, he runs away there.
Good defending there by the young fullback. Here's Popovic at the other end. McCaw takes it off his toes. Plenty of energy and industry in this Belconnen midfield. As I say that, they give it away. Here's Dominici. His turn to run at the Belconnen defence. Piccolo started brightly. It's faded a little as the half's gone on, but still plenty of quality there. Might be the game changer. Heggie's back heel asks a fair bit of Nick Forst. Didn't we see a little bit of Seb Woods last year? And what impressed me, Frank, was when he was running at the defenders with the ball, seemed to balance is really good, and if they can get him to go at this Belconnen back four, he might get some joy.
Yeah, he's got a real low centre of gravity, and he's got good pace and good strength, especially for someone his age.
Popovic. Calabria on the overlap. Crossing opportunity as well, swings it in, and Clements was firm to head it clear. Olympic coming to the fore as the half wears on in terms of an attacking force. Calabria again, that's a sore one, straight in the face for Zach Maybury. Got a fantastic delivery, hasn't he, Calabria, out on this near side.
Yeah, he's got a very good left foot.
Woods, Dominici, Sparrow gets away from Tarazi at the second attempt. Space for Nick Forst to run at Danning. Can he deliver something towards the far post? It's not a bad ball, but there's no one there in a Canberra Olympic shirt.
Yeah, Nick Forst and Kofi Danning matching up there. Last year they were playing on the same wing with each other, and they were electric down the right-hand side together last year.
Probably not when Kofi Danning wants to be, though, judging by the fact he's struggling to run, he's chasing young Nick Forst back there.
But Kofi, as always, big smile on his face. Yeah, what a great ambassador for the game locally.
Calabria. Sparrow tries his luck from distance. Eyes lit up for a moment there, Daniel Sparrow.
He'll be disappointed with that because he's got that in his locker that he can actually pull that out, and he would have really fancied himself to trouble Thurtell with that. Just seemed to snatch out a little bit, just maybe got away from him. But he's becoming more and more influential as well.
There wasn't much between these sides last season. They met in round 6 when a pair of goals from Stephen Dominici, one from the spot here, saw Olympic win 2-0. The reverse fixture in round 15 saw Olympic go ahead through a goal from Ulrich, only for Michael Reeves' own goal to give Belconnen a share of the points.
Yeah, he doesn't score many, Reevesy, but when he does, it's usually for the other team. No, just joking. He's a lovely kid.
Here's Popovic, space for Olympic. Can he slide it one towards Sparrow? One more was tried. He breaks into the area, rather, and it ricocheted off. I mean, Michael Reeves used to play for Belconnen, didn't he? So scoring for...
You know what, actually, all the players that we've got at Olympic, he was the one that sort of stayed the whole time that I was there. So I know he's out injured at the moment, but what a great servant he has been for the Olympic club.
Looking for Woods, and Maybury just nods it out of play.
Sparrow becoming more and more influential in this game.
He's down on his haunches, though, in the middle of the park, just out of your picture there. Last thing that Robbie Catnach wants is another injury.
I'd say he's just be catching his breath.
He's been busy, hasn't he? Here he is. Ulrich. Faust. Wants it back again. Patient build-up from Olympic. Sparrow. Wells saw that coming a mile off. Here's Piccolo. Since the penalty, Olympic have probably had the better of it.
They have.
And here's opportunity for Popovic to run at the defence again. Line one up. Good block that by Clements.
And it's no coincidence, Russ. I think Dusty's got a little bit less influential.
Danning looks for the run of Tarazi. Across comes Lindstedt. Strong challenge from the central defender. Concedes a corner.
Yeah, the more and more this game goes on, the more and more important Dustin Wells becomes for Belconnen, and the more important Daniel Sparrow becomes for Olympic. I think whoever wins that battle out of those two players will go a long way into deciding who wins this match.
A couple of minutes to half time. Luca Flores has gone ambling into the bushes looking for the ball. Belconnen have committed a fair few forward here, including Bourgeot and Clements, just on the edge of the box with Danning. Tarazi's gone to the near post. It's swung towards Danning at the back, but Calabria won it. Dominici ploughing a lone furrow at the moment. Mabry. McCall. Mabry again. Bounces off of Woods. Looks for Tarazi. Worked hard, Michael Tarazi. He hasn't really any luck at the moment, has he? He's been well marshalled by that central defensive pairing.
They just need a little bit more from him, don't they? Whether that's running off the shoulder or holding the ball up a little bit more.
Scores a goal every other game in NPL, which again's a decent record.
Another player who's been dogged by injury. Michael's is obviously a very good finisher and played at some very good clubs and always done really well. Just unlucky with injury.
Forst looks for the flick on from Ehegi. Here's a chance here. Finds Dominici. Dominici twisting and turning, looking to line one up, goes down. Ehegi with a slice. Dominici wanted a free kick. The upshot's the corner. Did he have a case there for a free kick on the edge of the box?
If you asked Stephen, he would have.
It was almost a beautifully disguised pass that from Ehegi with the slice shot.
Yeah. Sure.
Not quite the debut he's been looking for at the moment, has he? He hasn't quite been involved.
If something came of that, I'm sure Paolo would be really delighted. I would have loved to see his reaction.
Well, Sparrow with the corner. We mentioned the height advantage that Olympic have got. Both of their tall timber, Linstead and Ulrich, are in the penalty area. Can Sparrow pick one of them out? Swings it in, and they've all missed it. Oh. And it's cleared away eventually by Mabry, I think it was. Thurtell came, didn't get anywhere near that. And that was half a chance. Well, Jordan Thurtell mistimed that completely, didn't he? There's another Olympic player down here.
Piccolo, I think.
Did he get one in the unmentionables?
I think he just overstretched or something. There was no player around him.
But looking back at that, Thurtell came, didn't get anywhere near. It was a chance. I think it was Linstead who was in there behind him, couldn't quite get a touch on it, and Belconnen dodged one. Meanwhile, at the other end, Mickle's coming in. Larkins come and claim that one, slightly more confidently than he did earlier.
He's a big unit, Rory. I don't blame young Mickle for backing away a little bit there.
Here's Popovic. It seems to be opening up a bit. Feels a bit more like there's more space for both teams, and it's end-to-end at the moment. No real end product. Can Bailey change that? Not with a pass like that. No, he's out of position, but McCall covers well.
It's been a pretty mature performance from a young Luca McCall. Even a couple of times he's looked for a pass, hasn't been on. He started again. I think that's the benefit of playing NYL for that past season.
Popovic to lift it through into the path of Ehegi. Wells with a turn of pace. Flores, who's dropped into a more central position when he was playing wide, he swapped wings, hasn't he, with Mickle?
Yeah, they've swapped.
Ulrich. No real pressure in that kind of situation. They're happy for Lasse Ulrich to have it at the back there, Belconnen. Piccolo. Ulrich. Calabria, now they close. Dominici bounces off the left foot. Now Wells looks for Danning. Bit of work to do here for Kofi Danning, but he does it brilliantly. And here's Dustin Wells into the penalty area, onto that right foot. And Larkin with the save. Comes out as far as Mickle. Tarazi. Burst of pace from him, takes him into the area. Calabria's got to be careful here. Did enough. And Linstead nods it clear. More than a presentable opportunity there for Dustin Wells. Went with the right foot when the left might have been the better option, but it forced a save from Larkin.
And it was a good height for Rory as well. I think Dusty's gone with the outside of his right foot. He probably could have gone with his left and tried to hit it across the body of Rory Larkin. But again, great hold-up play there from Kofi Danning and bringing Dusty into the game.
Yeah, good weight of ball as well from the forwards. I think it's fair to say as we climb into the final seconds of the first half that it's Belconnen who've had the better chances, the penalty notwithstanding.
Yeah, I agree. I think Olympic started getting a bit more dominant possession-wise and territory-wise after the penalty, but still the chances that Belconnen have had, they'll come into the half-time break thinking they could be ahead.
Ihegi just lays it off to Nick Faust. Chasing back. Danning gets there ahead. Played 3 minutes of stoppage time. That's a decent challenge from Linstead.
How's that work on your big 300-day clock?
Oh, it's lots of minutes now. Maths isn't my strong point.
Are we up to 309 days yet?
Feels like it. It's great to be back. Just want some goals. I'm sure they'll come. McCall left that a bit short. Still we play. It's like watching English Premier League, isn't it? There's like 6 or 7 minutes of stoppage time on every game now, in the first half and second half.
I think it's interesting. The other thing around that is what you just said, Russ, is around our comparison to Premier League or whatever. These 5 subs that they're using in overseas, but we're only restricted to 3 here.
Here's Danning looking to fire it across goal. Yeah, and these are amateur players compared to professionals.
Surely the injury rate, I mean, obviously, like, Olympics already lost Kelly. You know, Kofi was struggling a little bit to move freely. You know, I don't see any reason why they couldn't have had more than 3 substitutions in our games.
It might come into play in the second half. As it is, the first half has seen Dustin Wells force 2 decent saves from Rory Larkin, and he's wasted the best opportunity of the match. A penalty in the 27th minute when Kofi Danning was hauled down by Rory Larkin, and Wells' penalty blazed over the crossbar. It was the best moment of the half. Olympic coming more to it as the first half went on, but Belconnen had the better of it. At the break, though, nothing between them. We still wait for our first goal of the NPL season. At half-time at O'Connor enclosed, it's Canberra Olympic 0, Belconnen United 0.
So you were coaching Olympic last year? Yeah. How we do it? Oh, really? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. Was Nick Faust playing for Olympic last year? Yeah, last year. Yeah, because I'm mates with him. Yeah, I went to Morris. Yeah. Oh, really? I've always played. I was there until year 10, but we used to always play soccer with him. And Ellie and he was so good. Yeah, and Ellie as well. Yeah.
I had Ellie here last year as well. You off, mate? Yeah, no. Huh? Yeah, no. That's it.
Oh my, I've got a little one with me and she fell off the...
I was going to get you to do the second half.
Hey?
I was going to get you to do the second half.
I was going to come in and do the half time. You know, like...
Oh, like a panel?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. I'll talk to Russ.
I told him. I said he's doing it. He goes, Frank's doing it himself. Look at this, Andy.
You know.
Andy, I need someone to do half time.
Is he here?
Yeah. You can't see that.
No. Where is he? Oh, what's going on? What, you just, now that you write a book, you're too good to say hello. Yeah. Oh.
One answer. Didn't do any academy.
Jane.
Am I on microphone? Gibbsy. Ricky, I'll talk to you. Have you got a pass for me? Thanks.
That's not like you, Andy.
Now I've got to go back and listen to it.
I said 6 years, of course we get a call. No, we go to your left. We'll see.
With a smile. That's the one.
You're going to do one, Andy, with the portrait, you're going to do it as a player or just you? Leaving that. Yeah.
That's what I like that. You know that one that you put on, the reading one, and you come through and you came through with the
I reckon it's the one.
He does a good job.
Really? Get out of here. I would have fucking, I pictured you reading fucking novels in the paper. Got a pile of them.
Trump's niece.
All I know is
They sold $1 million. Check this, Rowan. People talk shit about it, whatever.
all I did.
Sold a million copies in a day.
All I did was watch World War II October.
Fine, Candy Crush.
Obviously, all the stuff about World War II and Hitler and since then,
Completely like. $1 million copies.
they're all fucking.
Give me a new wheel. Where's that mate? Where's that mate? It's nice seeing you, Andy. Yeah.
I thought he'd see me. I saw him. I hadn't seen him in so long. I always put a good comment on it.
Yeah. Ideal. Welcome back to O'Connor in close for the second half of Canberra Olympic versus Belconnen United in the NPL Canberra competition. I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator, here live on Bar TV Sports. Frank Keisha still with me, as he was in the first half. Had a quick chat with Jay Kelly there, as he was hobbling towards the changing room at half time, and tells me he's tweaked a hammy, which is not a great. He said he's been waiting ages to play and got 20 minutes of football, and hopefully it's not too long for him.
Yeah, well, this goes back to the comment that we made just before half time around the number of substitutions, and I don't understand why we can't have more than three under these circumstances. The precedent's been set all across the world, so I don't really understand why players at a semi-professional or amateur level can't get afforded the same sort of latitude of having more than three subs.
Yeah, you think so, wouldn't you? I mean, maybe it's something they need to revisit, and they can change it a little bit later, or maybe or not. I don't know, but it's cost us Jay Kelly in the first half with a tweaked hammy. There's plenty of injured players on both parties that aren't playing this afternoon. If you just tuned in, the best chances of the first half came to Belconnen. Dustin Wells forced a couple of saves from Rory Larkin in the Olympic goal and then blazed a penalty over the crossbar, the best chance of the half. The two teams as they start for the second half: Olympic Larkin in goal, Faust Lindstedt, Ulrich Calabria, Piccolo, Sparrow, Woods, Ihegi, Popovic and Dominici. Don't think there's any changes in that side. And Belconnen, as they were in the first half, the telling goal: Mabry, Bourgeot, Clements, Bailey, Flores, McCall, Wells, Mickle, Tarouzi and Danning. Frank, where's the goals coming from, and who's going to get the first one?
Tough call. Like you said, Rory Larkin's been called into play more than Thurtell, but Olympic did start getting some dominance in possession and in territory. So, look, I think while Popovic and Dominici on the park, I think Olympic look particularly dangerous with those two. Kofi Danning's put in an amazing first half. I think you couldn't have asked for any more from someone like him. He showed a lot of leadership. He's brought other players into the game. He created and won the penalty. And he's got a habit of scoring at O'Connor. So I would say we're looking at, it's either coming from Popovic, Dominici or Danning. How's that for fencing?
Don't want to accuse you of fencing. What I want to ask you there, Frank, is what do you think Robbie Cadnat said to his team in the first half? We did mention there was an awful lot of long high balls for their front three to be competing against, and the qualities that Popovic, Ehegi and Dominici have, I guess aerially is not one of them.
Yeah, I'd say Robbie would be adamant that he needs to get the ball down to feet at Popovic's feet or Dominici's feet, because that's where they're most effective. He'd like to see Sparrow get more on the ball as much as he did in that latter part of the second half, but particularly early in this second half. Seb Woods, since he's come on, needs to get more involved, and no mistakes at the back.
Simple as that. Ball forwards, looking for Dominici. He's an isolated figure, but does extremely well to bring it down, and a lovely little lofted ball towards Popovic. On his own, 2 Blue Devil shirts closing him down very quickly. They've done that well all afternoon, actually, Belconnen, and forced Popovic into the error. They've sat off, haven't they, until it's become into a dangerous area. Then the press is pretty hard.
Yeah, and that's typical of a Paul Makor style of play. Like even back in the Croatia Deacons side of 2018, they weren't like a hard pressing side. They'd let you have it until you got to a certain part of the field, and then they'd go for you. It's not that sort of full pitch press that you see from a number of sides that they employ.
The free kick there was a slip rather than anything malicious by Popovic on Bailey, but easy call for Alex McConaughey running the game from the middle, and he got his card out once in the first half. That was for a yellow card for Roy Larkin for the penalty challenge. Lovely flick from Wells is Danning. Sparrow wins it in midfield. Ehegi. Now Popovic, runners ahead, asks Ehegi to chase that one, and he's got the legs on Isaac Clements. Can he deliver? Wins a corner. And a chance for Lindstedt and Ulrich to gamble forward again.
Yeah, and they'll put Thurtell under pressure again. He came out and didn't do as well as he would have liked in that last corner just before half-time.
Yeah, so less than decisive, wasn't it?
Yeah, something similar. Interesting that they got 2-on-2 at the back here, Olympic. Tarazi and Danning up against Force and Piccolo. If there is a quick break, you'd want to keep an eye on that.
Sparrow with the delivery, swings it in. Bailey at the near post, nods it clear. Flores completes the clearance. Dominici looking to bring it straight back, running at the heart of the defence. Stephen Dominici, this is where he's at his best, getting on with that right foot, driving it goalwards. Real chance for Popovic, and he squeezed it wide. It came to him rather by luck than judgment, I think, from a miss-hit shot from Dominici, but real opportunity for Nick Popovic to open the scoring.
That's a big, big miss, but outstanding play there from Dominici. He's got the ball off Tarazi. Shrugged the challenge. He got a handful of shirt there, Tarazi, but Stephen kept on going. Miss-hit his shot, but landed so favourably for Popper. I don't think Popper could believe his luck to put that wide.
Tell you what, if Popovic puts that in later on, Stephen Dominici is telling us that's the best pass. Weighted through ball.
Later, he'd probably come up in the commentary box and tell us.
Here he is on the edge of the penalty area. Can he get a shot away? Dominici goes for the cheeky little chip, and it wasn't too far away. And Olympic turning the screw, must have taken the deflection.
Much better start from Canberra Olympic now.
Dustin Wells can't believe it. He thinks it was straight out of play, but it's another chance for Olympic. They're ramping up the pressure on the Blue Devils at the start of the second half.
Yeah, and you can just see how influential Popovic and Dominici are.
Sparrow again swings it in towards Ehegi. The header was from Lindstedt. There's another corner. Good challenge from Bourgeot.
I think young Nickel thought that was Belconnen ball. He just let that run out.
Third corner in quick succession for Daniel Sparrow to swing it into the penalty area. Deeper one this time, looking for Lindstedt. Good clearance again, Bourgeot. Woods. Wells was back.
Still left 2-on-2 at the back there, Olympic. That ball does get through.
Taking a bit of a risk at the start of the second half. Calabria, Popovic allowed to turn. Looks to flick it towards Ehegi. Important header from Bailey. Still finds its way to Ehegi. Tries to get away from the fullback, does so. Still going Ehegi, and that's a good challenge from Mickle, and he may have got the deflection as well for the goal kick, but this has been a good start to the second half from Canberra Olympic. Asking a few questions.
Very good challenge from Nickel. Ehegi was running at him at pace. get one of those steps wrong, it goes down the box and it's a penalty. But very, very good start. So whatever Robbie said at half time has worked.
It may be very much what we've been saying, Frank. They've been playing it to feet and allowing their players to run at defenders, and that's where those front three cause problems. His Flores at the other end kind of got that wrong. Sparrow was there, and that's a full-blooded challenge between Bailey and Sparrow. No holds barred between those two.
No apologies, no quarters asked for. It's just, yep. And good to see.
Both have come away from that with a smile on their face as well, which is great. Straight into the midriff of Daniel Sparrow from Darren Bailey. It's been a come back to this point in a second, is launched forward by Larkin. Great to see it played in such a good spirit. I mentioned it in the first half, Frank. There's smiles all around, isn't there? There's been some good challenges, but nothing overly competitive, overly bad at the moment, and everyone just seems to be happy to be out there.
No, it's good. It's really good to see. There's another player down at the moment, Marcel Ulrich.
Yeah, Ulrich, out of your picture in the centre circle, is down as well. Michael Southam, Jordan Keisha, Dylan Atulu on the bench.
Yeah, it looks like Michael Southam will get the nod. He's a centre back who's been at the club since juniors. Started a couple of games last year. Played a number of seasons in 23s. I think he picked up their Player of the Year as well last year. So good young prospect. Naturally a centre back, so it would be like for like. But I'm sure Robbie won't be delighted that that Olympic have got two injuries to force the substitutions.
Looks like Belconnen going to make a couple of changes as well. At the same time as Zach Mabry's coming off. Michael Tarazi as well, it looks like, leaving the field. To figure out who's coming on. So Ulrich's still out there?
Ulrich is, I think, just getting some treatment on the bench. But the substitution hasn't been made yet.
Ethan Stamatis has come on this near side. And Phil Bourgeau's down now, injured.
And they've just made a sub as well.
They made two, I think, didn't they? Yeah. Stamatis has come on for Tarazi. And apologies, but I didn't see the second one. I was too busy looking to see where Ulrich was. And Paul McCaw's pulled a Swifty on us.
It's a young lad that's come on at right back. Just can't see his number.
Launched forwards. Good win from Calabria. Sparrow. I think it's young Max Melick.
Okay.
Who may well have come on for Zach Mabry. It's his first involvement back there. Dominici wins a free kick. Isaac Clements with the foul. In dangerous position, this one, right on the apex of the penalty area. Dominici's going to leave this for Sparrow.
Yeah, I think this will be trying to pick out one of the talls at the back, whether it's Asosto Heggie or Linstead. Linstead seems to be the target for a lot of the set pieces.
Well, he's peeled off to the far post. Heggie's round about the penalty spot with Popovic. Calabria getting involved as well. Sparrow swings one towards goal, in fact, and in the end doesn't trouble Jordan Thurtell at all.
Yeah, it'd want to be a good free kick from there to trouble Thurtell. He's one of the better keepers.
I spoke to Jordan Thurtell before kick-off, and I was saying no disrespect to him, but I hope there was plenty of goals today. We'll still wait one. Into the second half. Sweeping ball forward, chance for Flores down the middle. Larkin's kind of come and stopped. It might fall here of the opportunity for... The shot came in, and it was Stamatis who hit it. It's Danning, it's Flores, and easy for Larkin in the end. But almost an instant introduction from Stamatis.
Yeah, a bit of composure there from Belconnen in front of goal might have resulted in that first goal of the season.
And Larkin's launched that one forward, looking for Dominici. Has ridden the challenge of Melick. Woods lifts it towards Heggie. Bailey needs to win their header and does well. Not helped out by Stamatis there. Heggie back into the danger area, and Clements does the defensive work. Flores.
Stamatis nearly bit of an auspicious start there. He could have actually presented that to Heggie instead of just turning out and moving forward.
Could have had a goal at one end and almost credit one at the other. Here he is, young Stamatis. This is his NPL debut in first grade level, should point out as well. So congratulations to him too. Very young looking Belconnen side out there now in the front third.
Yeah, I just wonder what was the thought behind some of those two substitutions. Two very experienced players, Mabry and Tarasi, coming off. Whether or not they're carrying a knock or an injury, looks like Ulrich is ready to come back on as well.
Yeah, Olympic been playing with 10 for the last couple of minutes. Dominici's header, Heggie. Calling two minds. Sparrow. McCaw battling with Piccolo. And Bourgeot, who's taken over the captain's armbands and ceremoniously smashes that into the crowds. "12 minutes of the second half gone." We haven't seen Belconnen as an attacking force much at all at the moment. Wells, he's left that short now. Here's a chance for Woods. Goes through the first challenge. Dominici. Now Heggie. Will he run at Bailey? Tries to go past Bailey and does so. Tip towards the far post. Real opportunity here. Popovic lays it back. An opportunity for Piccolo. And he's wasted it by blazing it over the crossbar. Good Olympic move. Just needed a finish.
Yeah, Dominici brings the Heggie into the game, who beat Bailey. Lovely little chip cross to the far post. Intelligent play there from Popovic just to cut it back and not go for goal for himself. And I think Michael Piccolo would be pretty disappointed that he couldn't get that on target from that close range.
A real opportunity for Olympic to break the deadlock. Michael Piccolo, 3 NPL goals to his name. Couldn't make it 4. Ulrich nods that forwards. Popovic challenging with McCaw. Wells ball back to Thurtell from via the right foot of Isaac Clements.
Yeah, Lasse Ulrich is still favouring that left leg that he's got. Looks like a thigh injury, pretty high up.
Danning seems to be running freer though than he did in the first half, doesn't he?
Compared to Olaz, he does, yes.
Bailey, nice ball forward, asking for Danning to chase into the corner. Lindsted's across. Just well to send that forward. Bailey wins a header again. Good one too, Wells. One this a bit short, and here goes Seb Woods bursting through. Real opportunity for Seb Woods, and he took it early. And Thurtell was equal to the task. Another chance goes begging for the home side.
That was probably the Olympics' chance of the game, to be honest. Actually, that and Piccolo's, but yeah, Sebi Woods has attacked the ball.
Could he have taken another touch?
Oh, look, yeah, of course he could have, but I think you just get closer and closer to Thurtell there. He's backed himself and done what he thought was right. Yeah, he's done all the hard work there, won the ball.
Be interested to see how much more it does open up as we come towards the end of the match, in the last half an hour or so.
Olympic might target that right-hand side of Belconnen's defence for the rest of this match.
Yeah, with young Max Melik in there.
Melik, yeah, he just waited for that ball, just sort of got a bit gun-shy there.
Fitness might be an issue for these sides, do you think, Frank? I mean, I know they've not played for ages, but they've not really had much of a build-up either.
Yeah, but I suppose both teams will be in the same boat. But yeah, fitness should definitely be an issue, and that might actually see some goals.
Sparrow. Woods outside him. Sparrow was caught late there.
Definitely was.
I'm not sure the referee saw it. Woods twisting and turning and dancing wins the corner. Yeah, both these sides were due to play last week in a friendly. We were given the go-aheads for one week of build-up in terms of a match, and of course we had the little spike of COVID up in Gungahlin, and that put paid to any pre-season games, unless you were in Queanbeyan, of course.
Yep, doesn't cross the border, apparently.
Canberra, Croatia playing NUFC last week at High Street in Queanbeyan. Monaro Panthers having a couple of runs as well. White Eagles and Tuggeranong United, their opponents. Be interesting to see how they go this evening. 5:30 kickoff at the Riverside. Monaro Panthers v Canberra, Croatia.
Yep, you got Dean Greenwich taking over Canberra, Croatia, and an exciting young Monero side.
Sparrow swings it in, and it was a decent one too, and Ulrich wasn't too far away from making contact. Feels like there might be a goal soon.
Yeah, the ball's definitely been down this half of the field, but it's one of those typical sort of things where you're dominating possession for a long period of time, and if the opposition gets a sniff at the other end, it generally goes in. So I think Robbie will be really pushing hard to get this first goal. I think whoever scores first is obviously going to go a long way towards winning this, because it doesn't look like there's a lot of goals in this.
Quarter of an hour gone in the second half. It's been mostly Olympic, but Belco had their moment as well. Stamatis had a chance when Larkin was caught in no man's land. Here's Flores. It's opened up for Luca Flores here. It's Flores' strike at goal, and Larkin needed to hold on to it, and wasn't really enough sting in the shot from Flores to cause the keeper any issues. Lovely switch from Sparrow. Finds Woods. Couldn't quite bring it under his spell. But good chance that for Belco.
Yep, and that's exactly what we were saying. There's a large period of play up the Belconnen defending end. All of a sudden they break, and good save from Rory. Important that Rory held on to that, because there's obviously a lot of players coming and following through. Now here's the substitution with Lars Ulrich coming off.
Yeah, Ulrich hasn't quite shrugged off that injury. Michael Southam into a centre-back role. His fourth start at this level. And Robbie Cadnash will be hoping that that's just precautionary for Ulrich. Here's Popovic looking for a Heggie. Chance here for Asose Heggie. And Clements blocks across.
Yeah, that was a lovely ball. Lovely weighted ball from Popovic to Heggie. He's screaming for that ball to return back into the middle of the box there.
And the champions are building some momentum here. Top of the table last year. Sparrow swings that in. Thurtell, though, eats them up all day, or slips rather, as he tries to send it down the other end of the park. Got the champions here today, watching the premiers tomorrow. Gungahlin United versus Woden Western at the AIS. Big talk about Gungahlin United this season and about the squad that they've built, and might be a little bit of pressure on them tomorrow to get off to a good start.
Yeah, well, they've assembled like Canberra Galacticos almost. Yeah, Marcel's got a very big squad there, and they'll look to put a very big stake in the ground and send a message to the rest of the competition tomorrow. And it's a good challenge there for the young guys at Woden, just to see where they're at. And for them, I suppose there's no relegation to worry about, so they can just go out and play.
Yeah, Yuli De Silva's going to have his side well prepared for that one.
And with the way the season is structured, you know, if a team like Woden can get an upset against any of the more fancy sides, and all of a sudden the doors open up for them to potentially, you know, look for the top 4 spot.
Tough start to the season for Woden Western. Gungahlin away, Belconnen away. They play most of their games on the synthetic at the AIS. At the AIS, it's Melrose, I should say, High School. Flores plays it over the top. Danning's onside. Real opportunity for Kofi Danning, and he buries it in the top corner. First blood, Blue Devils. They've been on the back foot for the second half, but they strike, and just like that, they've turned this on its head. Belconnen 1, Olympic 0.
Yep, and it's that man, Kofi Danning, at O'Connor. Like we said, a little bit just after half time, you know, if there was going to be an opportunity, then, you know, for Belconnen, then Kofi was a guy. How much that had to do with Lars not being on the field at that time, it would be interesting. Good lead-up work from Flores, but a really well-taken goal from Kofi, and he'll have a smile from ear to ear there.
Against his former club, it tends to be in the script.
So we're looking at Sparrow for an equaliser.
Woods bringing it forwards. Dominici, what have Olympic got in response? We were saying that they have been the dominant side in this second half, but there were chances on the break for Belconnen. There was one right there. Here's Sparrow bursting through, but the free kick has already been given to Belconnen. Questions for Robbie Katnach in his first game in charge. What has he got in response?
Well, this will really lift Belconnen and the youngsters out there. They're matching it with the current league champions and now going 1-0 up. I think those young guys will grow an extra leg now and see if they can push on to get a second. because there's no doubt Olympic will keep on pushing, get that equaliser and try to eventually get that 3 points if they can.
You called it in the first half, Frank. Said Kofi Denning was looking very sharp today. And he's the one that's broken the deadlock against his former team.
Yeah, it's something we actually spoke about a little bit ourselves, Russ, off camera when we were talking about Kofi. He doesn't score like a lot of goals, but he scores some very important ones.
Again, another one with a really good record in Premier League, though, in 28 now in 46 at this level for him. And for a player that's had A-League experience under his belt, that was a quality finish. Never looked like missing, buried it in the top corner. Not unearthly for Rory Larkin. McCaw. Belconnen now will want to be consolidating this. They won't want to concede.
Yeah, but they don't want to go in their shell either. If they invite Olympic in, that's a recipe for disaster. They really need to keep on playing.
Calabria lunging in on that challenge on Mickle. It's Dominici. Looking back a few minutes before that, Frank, when the ball broke to Dominici in the penalty area, were you surprised he didn't ping that one when it was on his left foot and when he tried that little chip towards the far post?
No, to be honest, no. Having coached Stephen for a number of years, it was probably what I expected him to do. I suppose we all half expect it to bulge the net as well. He's just got that great track record of scoring a lot of goals.
Oh, and that's nasty little clip there from Isaac Clements. Nowhere near the ball, and he's very lucky to escape punishment there.
Yeah,
At the very least, that could have been a yellow.
Yeah, no intention to play the ball at all there.
Daniel Sparrow answering the question, and he's the one getting the lecture when, to be honest, it probably should have been Isaac Clements seeing a yellow. They get on with it quickly, though. Swung in by Faust and sliced clearance. We got a bit lucky there. Here's Seb Woods.
And it is important. I mean, if a centre-back is on a yellow card, then it does change the way they play a little bit as well. But he's got away with that one.
Linstead. It's a tough one for Heggie to keep it in, and he won't be able to. Kofi Danning's goal, the difference here at O'Connor Enclosed. We've said that before, but usually he's wearing the blue of Canberra Olympic and not the blue of Belconnen United.
He's done it in red as well, just quietly.
Did he get one in that championship decider here a few years back? I think he did, didn't he?
He certainly did, and then 12 months later he scored the first goal against Kuma.
A bit feisty now. Sparrow getting involved. Here's Dunning. Steps away from the first one, wins the throw. Daniel Sparrow like a man scorned at the moment.
Yeah.
Bailey with the throw. Danning, whose goal is the difference, can't keep that in play because there was a little foot in there from Nick Faust. Been a good battle between those two players who don't think Kofi will mind me saying at opposite ends of their career.
He might.
Well, he might do, yeah. Apologies if he does.
To be honest, you've got Nick Faust and Kofi Danning are probably two nicest players you'll ever meet in your life. I don't think they'll take offence to pretty much anything.
Difficult to take offence when you just ping one in the top corner.
Yeah, say what you like.
Here's Danning looking for an option. It's Dustin Wells who's fired one. It's taken a deflection, and I think it might have been an important header from Calabria.
I think so.
May have been travelling towards the top corner, that one from Dustin Wells. Struck it slightly better than his penalty. I think Rory Larkin, a little pat for Calabria. Thanks very much, because that would have been asking questions.
Unless that deflection actually went to the bottom corner, then Rory would have been...
Yeah, they'd have been asking all sorts of different questions.
I had that covered.
Mickle with the corner, swings it to the near post. Sparrow just knocks it away. McCaw with the ambitious half volley. Didn't get over it enough.
No, but good technique. He hit that pretty clean, even though he put that over. And it's good that he had the confidence to actually try that.
Just about to say the same thing. It's good to see players with the confidence to try things from distance.
It's been a really mature performance from Luca McCoy. He burst onto the scene a couple of years ago pretty much in first grade and played the majority of first grade games last year. A lot of the times you could see him getting booked, probably needlessly, and missing games through suspension because of things that he said to the referees and stuff like that. He's a very good player, and he's really come of age by the looks of things.
Daniel Sparrow is simmering under at the moment, isn't he? It's like a pot that's going to explode. He's just everywhere, looking to bring his team back into the game, drag them into it by the scruff of their neck.
Yep. Olympic needs some leaders to stand up now. I think Sparrow's one of them. Calabria's trying to lift them. Popovic is trying to lift them.
Well, on the bench, Robbie Katanach has still got Jordan Keisha and Dylan Atulu.
Yeah, so he's got a fullback and a midfielder, so I'm not sure what he can do.
Well, here's a chance. Nick Faust, has he got the ability to pick someone out? Loads of time to do so. Fires it across goal, but Thurtell read it really well, and that's what Jordan Thurtell brings to this team.
Yeah, I think Dominici was a ball. Here we go.
Bailey just away from Sparrow, and here's Flores, and Bailey's continued his run. Won't thank Luca Flores for not returning it to him, having made that 70-yard dash forwards. Popovic looking for Woods. Out comes Thurtell again.
Yeah, Sparrow's down here catching his breath.
It's been an all-action display from Daniel Sparrow.
He's an all-action player. That's just how he is.
Doesn't do anything at half pace, does he? Sparrow standing beaten in the air by Southern.
He still manages to keep the ball.
And run at the defence. Here's Mickle. Can he put something into the penalty area? Wins a corner. That's probably good enough for Belconnen right now.
Yeah, so just going back on the subs there for Rob, he's got a fullback in Jordan Keisha and he's got a midfielder in Dylan Atolu, so I'm not quite sure.
1 second as well, sends it over, and Flores was unmarked, holds his head in his hands, didn't get a connection. And if he had, it would have been 2-0.
Yeah. I think the only thing Robbie might look at doing is maybe moving one of his midfielders more forward and then maybe bringing in a Dylan or a Jordan Keisha or something like that too. But he's got to go chasing this goal. But they have got plenty of time.
Flores beaten to it by Sparrow. Stepping away from Bailey, then wins the challenge. 50-50 with McCaw. Bourgeot. Calmness personified. Back to Jordan Thurtell. Here's Popovic. Looks good when he's come deep, but he's a long way from goal, and I think Robbie Cadness would love to see him a bit further forward.
Yeah, but having said that, he does bring other people into the game. His connection with Dominici, even if he drops him deep, is always going to be there. And if he can give the service to Stephen that other players haven't, that could be where Olympic actually get their equaliser from.
Well, they need a spark. They've got 17 minutes or so to find one. Otherwise, it's Belconnen kicking off the season with 3 big points away at the home of the league champions. Bourgeot. Danning. Instead, touch tight, and Calabria just a little too tight.
And in this, you just got to take your hat off to Paolo Makor as well. I mean, he's won premierships as a coach and he's won a treble in 2018. But this is a new side for him, and he's set up really well. He's brought young kids into the game. He's brought in. He's made the most of his senior players. Made a couple of brave substitutions as well.
A big call that, wasn't it? Bringing on Melik and Stamatis at that time. And
he's 15 minutes away from a massive result.
Well, 50 minutes is a long time in football. Leinster wins the header. Wells beats Woods to it. Here's McCaw. Melik. Woods is back there. Bundle of energy, Seb Woods. Off he goes. He's great when he's running at defenders like this. Looks for Ehegi, but the pass didn't have the sufficient weight, and Clements was there. McCaw. Now Mickle. Away from the first challenge. And a full-blooded hit in there with Sparrow, who comes away with the ball. Pass one, can't get away from Clements. He's into the challenge with Nick Faust as well. Wins it back. Wells. And there's Calabria winning. That's a free kick, a little tug on Seb Woods. Some full-blooded 50-50s.
Out of all those challenges, we get this free kick for the little...
for the smallest thing. Full-blooded, but fair, you'd have to say. Here's Piccolo. Woods. Turns and tries his luck, but insufficient sting in that one.
Yeah, so you've got Woods deployed out on the left now. You've got Popovic who's dropped into the middle. You've got Dominici playing through the middle up top at number 9. So Popovic at 10, and then the 2 holding midfielders in Sparrow and Piccolo.
It's Calabria. Let it bounce, and Stamatis can bring it forwards. Combination with Flores. Stamatis again. Wells, quick glance to see where he was. Plenty of space. Danning. Runners outside him. One of them is Melik. Heavy first touch. Looks to swing it in, but gets the corner. Does well, the young fullback.
Luca Flores is taking up some really good positions, just running nice little channels and picking up some really good positions. If Belconnen can find him, I think he's the one that might be able to unlock the key there.
Just a reminder that 5:30 tonight, Monero Panthers versus Canberra, Croatia. Formerly Canberra FC, of course. Belconnen readying another substitute. Probably wait for the corner first. Only committed 3 light blue shirts to this one. Danning picks it up deep. Shut up well from Calabria. Here's Bailey. Switches towards Mickle. He brings it down. Real chance here for Leo Mickle, and he's placed his shot over the crossbar as well. Great technique to bring it down, set himself up, just didn't have the execution.
Some ball, Darren Bailey, but his first touch, Mickle there was outstanding. All he just needed was a bit of composure there. Hit the target, make Rory make a save or beat him. But yeah, that's actually happened a lot to Belconnen. You know, Dusty was probably guilty of that a little bit in the first half, putting the ball over. Just got to ask a few more questions of the goalkeeper.
And it's Mickle's last contribution to the game. Is that John O'Lear that's come on, I think? It's an opportunity, wasn't it, for him to cap his debut with a goal?
And maybe he was just fatigued there at the end. Yeah, if he just come off, maybe he was just spent.
So young John O'Lear joins the action. Going to get 15 minutes or so to show us what he's got. His 5th NPL game. Southam. Risky switch, but picked out Calabria. It's a good win from Melik. Olympic sensing that they need to up the tempo. Dominici. Nick Faust. Bailey slides in. Wins it well. As you mentioned, that ball from him earlier was a cracker, wasn't it, to pick out Mickle. Deliver with pace and precision. Is Sparrow arching his run forward. Good ball in towards Woods. Can he get it under control? Seb Woods equalises for Canberra Olympic. A wonderful ball from Sparrow. Composure from the youngster. And the home side, the champions, are back on terms.
Outstanding ball, Daniel Sparrow, and great finish, Sebi Woods. I don't know who the Belconnen defender was there, but he'll probably be ruining not getting a foot on that. But this sets up a massive last 10, 15 minutes.
A 3rd NPL goal for Seb Woods. And Canberra Olympic, we'd have to say on basis of chance in the second half, they probably deserved that equaliser. But for a young lad to finish with that composure, excellent finish from Woods. But the pass from Daniel Sparrow, perfect weight.
Yes, absolutely.
Just under 10 minutes to go as well. Just over 10 minutes, I should say. Big equaliser. Big 10 minutes coming up.
Well, like we said, these games are going to shape your season. So these next 10 minutes are vital. Olympic will be fancying their chances now to get 3 points, and Belconnen will probably be ruining that they've given away that goal when they've defended so well for the rest of the game.
Popovic dancing into the area. I did say at the time, one man's misfortune in Jay Kelly going off is another's fortune, as they say, and Seb Woods has taken his chance. Yeah, and he's come up with a goal.
And really happy for him.
Sparrow, whose industry, I guess, deserved something as well. He played a big part in that, as he's had all game so far. Olympic now pressing. They can feel they can win this one.
Well, Sparrow's been relentless since they've been down 1-0. He's just shown a lot of leadership. He's been simmering, no doubt, but showing a lot of leadership.
Well, you've known him better than most, having coached him. That's how you want Daniel Sparrow to play. You need him to be simmering, don't you? Because it's the kind of footballer he is.
Mate, I don't think you get much choice.
Had an exceptional game in a match I did last year, the AIS against Gungahlin United, when Olympic won 7-2. He was outstanding in that match.
And then we just couldn't get him fit after that. I think he did his knee, and we just couldn't get him right.
That's his ball again. Another lovely ball down towards Woods, who brings it under his spell. Confidence flowing through his veins at the moment, the youngster. Looking to twist and turn and pull it back towards Dominici. Bourgeau's there. Young Max Melik has having a torrid time with Seb Woods at the moment.
Yeah, well, I made the comment that I think Olympic will fancy themselves down that right-hand side of the Belconnen defence. Not because Melik's incapable, but he is young. He's, there's a lot of pace down that side with and good delivery from people like Calabria and Sparrow and Seb Woods running at you. So
here's Southam. It's a bit of a lazy ball. Sparrow challenged with Flores. Danning comes away with it. Has to go on his own. Southam comes back and concedes a free kick. Not the best 30 seconds for the substitute. Tried to redeem himself. They've gone early. Wells into the penalty area. The whistle's gone as well. And
so that's frustrating as a coach. Why can't you go early on that? It's your free kick. You've picked out a player in the box. Rory's obviously got there, but...
Well, second time lucky perhaps. Darren Bailey behind the free kick. We've seen what he can do with his left foot from this side. This is
dangerous position with Bailey's free kicks.
He'll swing this into the danger area towards the far post. It's too close to Larkin. He elects to punch rather than catch.
Surprising.
Dominici looking to pick it up on the break. Good challenge, McCaw. Needed to be. Stamatis. Here's Wells. Flores the only option outside him, so Wells asks him to get on his bike. Nick Faust back with him.
Really well defended, Nick Faust.
He's done well, hasn't he, as the fullback?
Quality. Great player, great attitude. But Flores has kept him honest all game as well, to be frank.
Wells. McCaw. Great touch to get away from Piccolo. It's for John O'Lear. Small amount of space for him. Picks out the pass for Danning. Flores in the middle. Stamatis on the far post. Lear arriving now. That's towards Stamatis. And uncharacteristic from Danning to overhit that one.
Yeah, you won't be happy with that, Kofi.
He had plenty of options as well, didn't he? With the young boys all coming up into attack. WNPL starts tomorrow as well. You could tune in to Gungahlin's match with Matt Nicoletti and Jeremy Megan. Or you can listen to myself and Lachlan Roberts as we do Gungahlin versus Woden Western. We've got under 7 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Flores takes it nicely, almost squeezed it through, and he may well have towards Danning. Linstead took his eye off the ball momentarily.
Good cover there from Josh Calabria. I'm sure Olympic would want to get Dominici into this game a lot more than what they have been in the last 10-15 minutes.
Struggling to recall him having a shot of note, Stephen Dominici, and that's unlike him. Usually gets 1 or 2 away in a game. Had a free kick earlier which didn't test the goalkeeper, of course.
He had that shot that landed at Popper's feet.
It was a pass.
Yeah.
Bailey swings it towards the far post. Larkin needs to come and collect, and he does, but only at the second attempt. He bowls it out towards Woods, whose goal has dragged his team level. Ehegi. A little bit quiet on his debut, says Ehegi. Plenty more to come from him, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I think he's going to take a bit of time to fit into Olympic system as well. He's a lot of the time at Tuggeranong he was one out up front or one out on the wing.
What's the focal point of Tuggeranong's attack last year, wasn't he? Here's Popovic against Wells. Good energy from Dustin Wells. And swings the right foot through it up towards Flores, who's been sharp this afternoon, and he's gone away here from the first challenge, and off he goes, Luca Flores. All on his own at the moment. Southam comes across to win it and does exceptionally well with the challenge.
Gee, I thought that was more of a foul than the one he gave on Kofi.
Must have got a piece of the ball.
Got it, because no one's even complaining.
Bailey. Here's McCaw. He's got a lot of space here. McCaw looks for Wells. Danning around the corner. Lovely move this. Here's Leah. Here's Kofi Danning. It might come loose. It's Flores. And he sweeps it home. And Belconnen United scythe through the heart of Canberra Olympics defence, and they lead as time ticks away.
Really good composure there from Melik to play the ball into Kofi, who seemed to have let it run, and then Luca Flores, who I noted was just getting into some very good positions. He just made a really good run where he was tackled there by Michael Southam. Just wondering again, like, the loss of Lars Ulrich into the middle of the defence, how much that's hurt Olympic.
With 4 minutes to go, Flores gets the goal his industry deserves, and Belconnen reinstate their lead. The Blue Devils 2, Olympic 1, and time very much the enemy for Robbie Katnach and his troops at the moment. Calabria up towards Ehegi. Might fall for Dominici. Stamatis just smashes it up the park. Once again, a lovely touch from Kofi Danning in amongst all that as well.
Kofi and Dusty have been outstanding for Belconnen, and you probably add to that Darren Bailey. So the guys, the senior guys at Belconnen, they're surrounded by young players, but geez, they've done well.
Flores. Sparrow in the back gives the free kick away, and Luca Flores can be really proud of his afternoon's work, and that goal took it calmly, didn't he? Just swept it in the bottom corner.
Yep, one of the few times someone's been composed in the box.
First ever NPL goal for Luca Flores.
Is it really?
Don't think it's going to be his last.
No, he's
at this level in first grade, I should say.
No, I like him. I liked him last year, and he's played predominantly off the bench, I think, in NYL this year. But he's put in a massive effort today. He's Paul's asked a lot of him in different positions, but he's delivered every time.
Time ticking away. Less than 3 minutes to go. Canberra Olympic next week travel to Canberra to play Tuggeranong United. That's no gimme either. Sparrow arcing ball towards Calabria. Good header. Might fall for Dominici, but that's well played. Isaac Clements using his body just to hold off Olympics' leading marksman.
You fancy there's going to be at least one more chance each year? The game's pretty open. Olympic are obviously throwing everything they can forward, and that could create chances at the back. But I just fancy there'll be a chance each year before we finish up.
Danning, still full of running. Wells. Chip towards where Leah was, but he wasn't going to get that. Roy Larkin is a man on a mission. Time his enemy. Southam, who I thought had averted that danger with that covering tackle. Dominici, long way from goal. Not being allowed to turn. He's still got away from the first challenge and wins the free kick. Nibble at the heels from Luca McCall there.
Stevie has to get himself forward here.
Calabria, not many ahead of him. Melik comes in and steals it, and off he goes, stretching the legs. Still going. Cross comes Lindstedts to get involved. It's good enough for Belconnen where the ball is right about now. Into the last 30 seconds. Sparrow. Piccolo. Woods. Popovic. Gets it back from Piccolo.
Great feet, Popper.
Trying to pick his way through, but there's too many light blue shirts in and around him, and anywhere will do at the moment, as McCaw just slaps that up the park as well. Ball's back with Roy Larkin. I'm sure he's going to send this as far as he can forwards. Decent knock. Header from Melik, only falls as far as Woods in the penalty area. Lear across there. They want to be careful with the challenge. Wells can pick it away. That's a soft free kick for Josh Calabria to concede in that position.
It's probably no different than what Sebi was getting, but Dusty's smart enough and experienced enough to go down. And Dusty and Kofi have really shone through these last 15, 20 minutes.
Well, we're into stoppage time. We've played 30 seconds of it. Don't recall there being too many stoppages in this half.
Well, Lussa went down for a little bit.
It might be 3 minutes or 4.
Yeah, maybe at the most.
One at the back by Southam.
Oh,
Leah's header, that's a clash.
high feet from Michael Piccolo.
And a free kick for Belconnen, which they will be in no rush to take.
No.
We've played over a minute of stoppage time now. Dustin Wells over this one. Pretty certain they're not going to go too far forward with it. Here's Danning. Wells. John O'Lear wins the throw.
Good to see the young kids from Belconnen wanting the ball and not going into sort of hiding in this sort of situation, which it would be easy for them and you could excuse them for it, but they're getting involved, they're presenting themselves, and good on Kofi and Dusty for playing them.
Here is Danning. Just eased off the ball, and here's perhaps the final chance for Canberra Olympic if they can get it forward. Mick Forst brings it forward. Stamatis forcing him to turn backwards. Sparrow, Dominici calling for it on the far stick. Sparrow swings one in, but it's way too close to Jordan Thurtell. Quick glance at the watch from Alex McConaughey. Thurtell will be in no hurry. Send this as far away as he can and tell Olympic to play 90 metres from goal with Lindstedt.
And the other issue presenting itself next week for Olympic is the fitness of Jay Kelly and Lasse Ulrich.
Do they have something left in the tank, the champions? Robbie Cadnash might have to dust off the boots.
I think give him half a chance he would, and he'd still do very, very well. But
here they come. Faust numbers forwards. Space for Popovic. Touch led him down, and Clements just whacks it clear right below us in the commentary position. Daniel Sparrow to take the throw. Looks for Nick Faust, who looks for the touch, and Heggie hadn't read it, and Clements will see this out of play, and that might just be it. As we come towards the end of the 3rd minute of stoppage time.
Been a very entertaining second half for us.
It's what we wanted.
Not that I think Paolo Makor cares at the minute.
We've been waiting a long time for football to come back in Canberra. We've had a game, especially in the second half, that's been worth it. It's been very open. There's been chances at both ends. There's been some good goals. We've even had a missed penalty in the first half. Maybe there is just time for Olympic to launch one final foray forward. Popovic under challenge from Clements, and Bailey, who's had a great game, just helps it forward. Nice touch from Stamatis. He gets a foot in as well. Flores, whose goal could be the winner at the moment. Lovely tackle too. Danning involved, and there's Lindstedt just bashing it forward as well. Calabria looks to lift it into the penalty area towards where Popovic is there. Thurtell comes and collects nicely for Belconnen United. The Belconnen bench asking where all this time is coming from. We've played 49 minutes at the moment. Thurtell just spanks it up the park as well. Still no glance at the watch again from McConaughey.
Maybe Alex has missed it too much.
And now he's looked at it and he blows a full-time whistle, and it's 3 points to start the season for the Blue Devils. They took the lead. They were pegged back, but Luca Flores bangs in the winner. And Frank, it's a good start to the year and a good start for Paul McCaw.
Massive start for Paul McCaw. I think he would have, as soon as he found out he was playing Olympic week 1, he would have targeted that as, this is a game that we can sort of set our stall up and basically send a message to the rest of the competition that Belconnen are back and looking for a top 4 position. So a lot of work for Olympic to do. I think just mainly around finishing. The loss of Lars Ulrich in the middle of the defence was a telling thing, because basically Belconnen scored twice through the middle. Kofi and then Luca Flores once Lars went off. Big effort from some of the boys in particular. I saw, Sparrow put himself about. Calabria was good. But Belconnen with Kofi Danning and Dustin Wells leading the charge, and Luca Flores putting the icing on the cake there. I think they'll walk away feeling that they deserve that.
Thanks very much for your company this afternoon, Frank. We'll be in touch, of course, throughout the rest of the season as well. Defeat on the first day is never really terminal, but in a short season it leaves Canberra Olympic playing catch-up if they want to retain their league championship crown. A goal from Kofi Danning after Dustin Wells had missed a penalty put Belconnen in front, only for Canberra Olympic to equalise with a lovely finish from substitute Seb Woods. But it was the Blue Devils who had the final word. Luca Flores with his first ever NPL goal, sweeping in with 4 minutes to go on the break to give Belconnen the perfect start to the season. We've waited 307 days. We're back. Canberra Olympic 1, Belconnen United 2. Yeah, I'm just going to head over to the riverside. See if I can get there just before kick-off or just after kick-off. About half an hour from here, yeah. Thanks, Ben.
All good, no problem.
See you tomorrow, probably. Are you Olympic Gardening?
Yeah, I'll be at the AIS.
Yeah. Nice one, mate. I'll see you. I'll be in touch in a week. We'll have a chat. Do you do it next week still?
Yeah, I think so. Sunday. Yeah.
Good garden inspiration.
Yeah. Unless, yeah. When's Tuggerton playing Olympic?
Saturday, I think.
Is it? Okay. Yeah.
I think so. I'll have a look.
Yeah. Unless Jordan is around. Right.
Yeah. Well, I've got to look at your practice.
See you later, Frank. Nice to meet you, mate.
Nice to meet you, man.